Peter Ross Edwards would have loved this. All his friends, so many of them as are still with us, that is, his friends from his days when he served his nation so well, his friends from his days in the law, his friends from his days in politics, including two past premiers in John Cain and Jeff Kennett, but many other parliamentarians, not only of that era, of course, but many of the contemporary era who have carried on the traditions which he set in place, certainly in terms of our party. Peter Ross Edwards would have loved today. Do you follow? And it is testament to the great life of this man that we do have so many walks of life represented here today, not only from those that I've outlined, but those that are associated with the many entities and enterprises referred to on the inside page of the service booklet here today. And it is in tribute to Peter that we are all here. Peter was a gentleman and a statesman. At all times that I knew him, over the many years that I knew him, I never ever saw him lose his temper. I never ever heard him utter language, if I may put it as such. He was always calm. He was full of sage advice and plenty of wisdom. He was, as Patrick McNamara has described him, very pithy in his language. What he had to say, he said accurately and briefly and to the point, and no one was left in any doubt. And there are, I know, many here who have so many instances of that sage advice and that great wisdom. Just coming here today, it was recounted to me, part of the advice that he gave a former member for Shepparton. When you're down the street, always wear a tie, because I reckon you're working. On another occasion, a then very keen young backbencher about to make his then termed maiden speech, who gave to Peter the general outline of what he intended to say. And what did Peter think of it? And after a pause, Peter said to him, "Well, always remember, the public take a lot longer to forget a very long bad speech than a short bad speech." And it served a tempering purpose. And over the years that I've had the honour to lead the party, there were many instances when the phone call would come in, the commentary would be very short and to the point, and it's something that I know was treasured about Peter. He was a man of the utmost integrity and the highest of principles, and you only need read and consider the many tributes to Peter that have flowed since the time of his passing. Invariably, a common theme of the commentary about this man was that when he had something to say, it was best to listen. When he had it to say, he would always keep his word. He could be trusted in delivering upon that which he promised to deliver. It's one of the things about politics, that when you come to it, it is a tough profession on its day. But in all things in life, one treasures one's name the most. And the thing about Peter is, he conducted himself in such a fashion that people respected him enormously because of those attributes which he demonstrated in the course of his various activities. Of course, he pursued his goals remorselessly, and we've heard some of the stories today. I don't need to go over them. But he was renowned for the fact of being able to argue the case, to achieve his result, but to do it in a manner respectful of those with whom he was dealing. It was never personalised, but the point was always well made. He was, of course, a man who served in those many, many walks of life about which we've heard, and it was why he was awarded the AM in 1989. In the loss of Peter Ross Edwards, we have seen the passing of a great Victorian and a great Australian, and the passing of a giant of the Nationals, Peter Ross Edwards.